Hello, 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 and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream happening every Thursday, normally at 4 o'clock, but today is a special day. We're doing it at 4:30. And the reason this is a special day is because today is National Good Vibes Day. So, National Good Vibes Day is something that has been around a little while. And I don't know that a lot of people have taken advantage of it, but I am bringing it since it's so perfect with Good Vibes TV and Good Vibes Lifestyle and all the things that I do, Good Vibes. This is a perfect day to celebrate. And the way we have been celebrating is by having these hourly good vibe breaks. So if you have been watching since 6 o'clock this morning, every 11 minutes after the hour, every hour, up until 11 o'clock tonight, 11:11 tonight, we will be having different segments, different good vibe breaks, different messages from different experts. So I want to welcome you to that. And I hope that, uh, you've been watching. And if not, I do stream to several different places, like 5 different Facebook pages, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, of course. YouTube's our main hub where everything stays because the different, like Facebook and stuff, they only keep the lives for about 30 days and then they're closed out. But you can find all of our content on the YouTube channel for Good Vibes TV, and the vanity URL is at Raise Your Vibe and Thrive, and spelling out AND. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to be here on National Good Vibes Day. So let's get into it. What's happening in the world of astrology? Well, let's see what's going on. So, first, we'll talk about how the sun is in the sign of Scorpio, and that happened on April 22nd. It's always the 22nd, 23rd of the month, sometimes the 21st, that the sun sign will change, go from one zodiac sign to the next. So we are in the season of Scorpio. So we left the season of Libra, which was all about finding peace and alignment in your outer world. It's about, relationships and harmony. Well, Scorpio season is about looking inward and confronting our inner truths to really achieve genuine transformation. The qualities of Scorpio, which I am a Scorpio, and yes, my birthday was just this past Monday on the 27th, so I just turned 62, and yeah, so I am a Scorpio, and Scorpios are very intense, introspective, and mysterious. And our ruling planet is the planet of both Pluto and Mars. Mars was the first one, but then when they discovered Pluto, they assigned Pluto to Scorpio. And Pluto is the planet of transformation, and Mars is the planet of passion. So, transformation and passion are all about the energy of Scorpio. So, transformation, rebirth, intimacy, emotional intensity, uncovering truths, these are all part of the Scorpio energy. And so, let's talk about the moon. So, we just had a new moon. We're in the waxing phase of the moon because we had a new moon on October 21st, about a little over a week ago. And so, as we travel from the new moon to the full moon will be on November 5th. And I got the time wrong last week, so forgive me for that. It's the super full moon. And this will actually be the second of 4 super moons in a row. We have 2 more coming up in December and January. And this November supermoon coming up on November 5th will actually be the closest of all supermoons. What makes it a supermoon is that the moon is physically closer to the Earth. So it has a little bit more of an energetic impact, especially on the waters, because the moon affects the tides. And just as it affects the tides, it affects the waters in our bodies, since we are anywhere from like 70 to 90% water. So we water is just a very important element to us, and it does get impacted by the pulls of the moon. So, and every month, this will be called a beaver moon, but that is happening in November, and we've just got one more day left in the month of October. So, I do want to mention, just so that you know, that Mercury retrograde is coming up on November 9th through the 29th. So, a lot of November is going to be in Mercury retrograde. And remember that we always start feeling the energy of a Mercury retrograde anywhere from 7 to 10 days prior. So that means just this weekend, we're going to start feeling the pre shadow, or I think it's called the pre shadow of the Mercury retrograde. So just put that in your calendar to make a note of it. Nothing to be fearful of, but just to be aware and know, what these energies are like, so you have a sense of it, so that you can go with the flow of the energy, which is always a better way to live, I think, because this way we, uh, oops, sorry, I'm playing with my computer here. Um, ugh, what was I going to say? This way, we're flowing, going with the flow, going with the flow of the river, instead of trying to fight and flow upstream, or go upstream. So, this is why I think living your life from an energetic perspective, where we weren't really brought up that way, right? To think about things in terms of energy. But if we do, it opens our eyes to kind of a new world. Of energy and understanding of how that works and how things are all, impacted. So, uh, next, let's talk about Three Eye Atlas. So, it reached perihelion last just yesterday. And let's see, I want to make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. Perihelion means that it's closest to the sun. So, I don't know if you can see here, at a three eye atlas, as it's, I wonder if I can move myself now. Here we go. It's kind of on the other side of the sun, so we can't see it right now. And with the government shutdown, NASA, has not been releasing photos of this thing, but we can't physically see it yet. We will be able to, I think, later in November, because Three Eye Atlas will get closer to. It's going to pass by Venus the beginning of November, right near the new moon. Excuse me, full moon, and then it'll be closest to the Earth like December 19th, which is just a couple of days before the winter solstice, which is another peak time of energy, where, we have the shortest day, the longest night. And this is when, after this time, then the sun starts getting more powerful again, in terms of what am I saying? Closest to the well, physically, I don't know if it's closest to the Earth, but I think it has to do more with the tilt of the Earth. But anyway, I'm talking outside of my realm of understanding, so I don't want to give you the wrong information. But perihelion was yesterday, and um, uh, PM Gregory and others have suggested that, and I suggested it last week, that we actually meditate and connect with the Three Eye Atlas and see what kind of feedback and energy that we get from it. So I've been, researching, kind of tuning in myself, and I did do some meditations yesterday. But all I can say is that I felt like energies coming in that were enlightening, and maybe new light codes coming in, raising my vibration. So it was very peaceful, very happy. It was just, a good experience. So if you haven't already tried to connect with that, try to, if you like doing that. But I have been looking for uh, different psychics and channelers about uh, the Three Eye Atlas and what the meaning is. Because some people, there's some fear out there saying, "Oh, it's a UFO," and seeing it from a negative perspective, something to harm us. And I think that Avi Loeb with Harvard, he's kind of like trying to get fear stirred up in people. And and whenever someone starts fear mongering, it makes me question their motives. And Dr. Stephen Greer has some thoughts about Avi Loeb feeling like he's part of the disinformation campaign that the government that know about the, what's happening with ETs, has been putting out there to confuse us as people, and it's important that we are aware of what's happening and that we get the right information. So I do want to share with you that I found a clip on a YouTube channel. This is a YouTube channel called Astral K, and she has a video there, which I will share the link in a minute, that has to do with Bashar. Bashar is channeled. He's a ET entity that's channeled by Daryl Inca. Has been around for quite a while. I haven't known him super long time, like I have studied other people like Abraham Hicks and others. But I wanted to share this clip because it was very interesting. So Bashar is being channeled through Dara Inca, so his eyes are closed because he's channeling. And Bashar was asked about Three Eye Atlas and what could he tell us about that. So I want to share this video with you. It's a fairly short clip, but I will see you on the other side.
Comet, a very unusual comet. It does have extraterrestrial technology attached to it for observational and recording purposes and investigation and scientific recording purposes, but it is, in a sense, an unusual natural comet. But the purpose of these ideas, of the observation of these interstellar objects coming into your system, is practice to pay attention to the idea that there will be more interstellar objects, actual extraterrestrial interstellar objects coming into your solar system in the near future, that are now in your solar system, have been coming into your solar system. So it's an opportunity to practice recognizing that interstellar objects from other star systems are entering your system, coming closer and closer and closer. So these natural objects are giving you some practice in getting used to the idea of accepting that objects from other star systems are coming into your star system as well. And this is another way of preparing for open contact, even though these objects themselves are not extraterrestrials per se.
So that was Bashar. And, so he's saying that it's not, that it's not an ET craft or anything like that, but that it does have some data gathering information. And another psychic that I follow, her name is Birdie with the New Paradigm Institute, and she tuned in, did some remote viewing, and found that it was like an asteroid rock kind of thing, but there was some alien technology in there that was. She didn't really say what it was for, but she said that there was some alien technology in there that was maybe gathering data. So that's kind of similar to what Bashar is saying. So it's interesting, because some other psychics are saying that this, as a Three Eye Atlas, and it's so interesting, the name Three Eye, which is very similar to the third eye, that many psychics are saying that this is actually going to bring a new energy to our planet and to our solar system, and actually elevate and help us with the awakening of the planet. And evolution to more of a spiritual being. We are Homo sapiens, and I think the evolution is to become Homo luminous, meaning light beings, meaning lighter, going from a carbon base to a crystalline. And a lot of this has to do with water, and it has to do with our, DNA. So a lot of interesting stuff happening. And there were several other parts of that video that I'll share in the coming weeks that I thought were kind of insightful. So that was Bashar. But let's now get into, here we are, UFO and UAP disclosure. So what is happening with disclosure? And actually, Bashar did have another clip, which I don't know that I put up here. Let's see. Can I get it? Video file. He was talking about the congressional hearings. So I'm going to, let's see if it's going to play right away, or, whoops, I don't want to play that just yet. Let's talk a little bit first about the UFO disclosure and what is going on. So there is a movie called The Age of Disclosure, And that will be premiering on November 21st on Prime Video, and also in like certain big cities. It'll be premiering in the theaters for a short time. So the Age of Disclosure movie, we've been anticipating. They have like 34 different uh, people, whistleblowers, and other people who have contacted or had contact with either ET craft or beings within the government, shadow program, and they come out in this video and talk about it. And actually, uh, there are going to be some watch parties on November 29th, that Saturday. Then I'm going to find out a little bit more about it. It does have to do with the Citizens for Disclosure kind of hosting different watch parties at different places. So as I find out more about that, I will share that with you. But you can just go to Prime and watch it. It'll be available, like I said, on November 21st. And I would definitely recommend that. Now, we did have not too long ago on October 19th, the Global Disclosure Day, and you can actually watch the replay. It's very easy to watch. Just go to globaldisclosureday.org. Now it's 4 hours long, so there's a lot of information there, but it may be worthwhile, to break it up into segments and just study that information because it is very good. So also having to do with UFO and UAP disclosure, Danny Sheehan, he has a new podcast that's come out, and a new episode did come out this week on Spotify. So I have a tiny URL. You can check that out, tinyurl.com/GVTV Sheehan podcast. You'll be able to see his latest podcast. So Danny talks about what's going on in the government. He's a constitutional lawyer, and he was behind Iran-Contra and other scandals in the government. So he knows the Constitution. And now his big task for the last few years, actually for a while, because he's been helping Dr. Stephen Greer since '93 with UFO disclosure. So he is the president of the New Paradigm Institute. And the way you can get to the New Paradigm Institute is just go to their website, newparadigminstitute.org, and you can find all kinds of data and actions to take. So the latest that's happening with disclosure, the bill that we've been pushing for did not get in the defense defense act or whatever, the legislation they were pushing through. It did not make it. There were people that took it out, and that would have given teeth to the UAP Disclosure Act that already exists to a certain level, but it has no teeth. They took the teeth out of it, so they can't really enforce anything. There's no penalty for not complying. And as you see in our government right now, there's a lot of non-compliance, a lot of not following the rules and the laws by, the leaders. So what was my point about that? Anyway, disclosure. So what's happening is Eric Burleson is putting together some legislation, a standalone bill that he'll be able to put before the House once they get back in session. Because right now, nobody, they're not meeting, and it's a whole big political mess happening. And so, but he's working on it. So Danny Sheehan is helping him, which is great because he's a constitutional lawyer, knows, he's just brilliant, this man. And he's helping Eric put together this legislation for, whistleblower protection, so they can come out without fearing, for their life or losing pensions and this kind of thing. Anyway, so if you want to become part of the Citizens for Disclosure, which is under the New Paradigm Institute, just go to this website and you'll be able to sign up for their newsletter. And then if you want to volunteer, there's a place to volunteer too. There's no cost, and it's just a great way to connect with other people. So yeah, I want to let you know about that. Okay. All right. So let me see what else is going on. I can tell you a little bit about, I'm starting a series called Galactic Good Vibes, where I interview different UFO experiencers, people that have channeled or have been contacted or communicate with ETs. And I am in the process and production right now. So just wanting to let you know that. Okay, so let's now move into the Oracle of the Month. So this is the final day of October that we have a show, and the Oracle Last time we'll be playing with this oracle, the fairy tale heroine oracle deck, will be today. So let me pull up. Here we go. The cards, you can see it. So Fairy Heroine Oracle Guidebook by Sharon Blackie. So let's shuffle the cards and ask Spirit for a message for all of us, whether you're watching live now or watching the replay, doesn't matter. Spirit can, there really is no time and space. This is just a construct we've created so we can, manage our experiences here on Earth. And let's see here. Let's ask Spirit. What do we need to know? Let's ask about Three Eye Atlas. What do we need to know about Three Eye Atlas right now that it's on its way? Is there anything else? I had asked this question a couple of weeks ago, but let's ask again just to see what we get. Oh, very interesting. The Tower, number 8. Now, there's a tower in the tarot deck, which means a certain thing. So I'm curious if this matches what's in the tarot, in the tarot deck as far as the image of the tarot. All right, so in fairy tales, the tower is a strong, unassailable prison in which our heroine might find herself locked up with no apparent means of escape. It's a place of stasis, representing a time between stories. Inside the tower, the story of her old life has come to an end. But the heroine is waiting and always hoping for a new story to begin. She's trapped there, then held against her will, desperate. There are times in all of our lives when we'll feel as if we've stalled, as if we're all out of choices, as if our agency has been stripped away from us. The road ahead of us will seem to have vanished. They are always frustrating and sometimes frightening, but these times of stasis are necessary. We build up reserves there at the top of the tall tower, and when we finally discover a way to escape and move on down into the world again, we find ourselves stronger and very much wiser. For the fairy tale heroine, though, the tower is also a place where surprising allies show up. Although her escape might happen because a prince has ridden by and seen her let down her beautiful golden hair, it's just as likely to be achieved with the help of a tribe of hungry mice with whom she shares her food. Are you locked up in a tower in a time of stasis right now? How can you use this time to cultivate the resources you need for the next stage along your journey? So I asked this question in terms of, this Three Eye Atlas coming into our solar system and what kind of impact it will have. So this is interesting. This tower moment, again, I'm kind of merging it with what the tarot means. Tarot in the tower in the tarot card, the tower is falling, is breaking down, and there's one guy that's falling with his head first, so he kind of has a better chance of landing, and there's one that's falling with his head back. Well, probably won't do as well. But this tower has to do with stasis. And, the tower usually means a big time of change, a big break, actually a breakthrough, right? So, but this particular tower stasis kind of means like things staying kind of like a break, right? So I feel like in answering this question about what do we need to know about Three Eye Atlas, I feel like it is something that's maybe a milestone, something that will change our vibration and will awaken us. And after it passes through, it will, that change would have happened so that we can evolve to the next level. So, yeah, interesting. If you get any insights from that, please put it in the comments. I'd love to know what you're thinking about it. Okay, so let me get rid of that. And let's get into a little bit of spiritual activism. Yeah, Lots happening in the world. And, this Saturday, unfortunately, people right now, at least as I understand it, people who are on SNAP benefits, who are on food stamps, will not have those anymore this Saturday. So this is going to be a hard time for, the poorest of the poor, the people that need help. And now is the time that especially not only prayers are needed, but also help. And I'll talk about more a little bit in our tip for the week. But what I love to you know share with people is that it's important for us to meditate. And Pam Gregory recommends at 2 p.m. Eastern time for 15 minutes to send love and light to the planet. She was doing this weekly on Sundays and then moved it to every single day. And I'm not always able to do it every single day, but when I do it, I feel like I am making a little bit of a difference, because energy is everything. And our intentions, our energy is more powerful than we think it is. So it is very important, to send love and light to the planet, to the people, because there's more suffering that may be happening, and it's not good. So, all right, my friends, let's move on to our next little segment here. I want to let you know about Longevity with Light. Our next episode will be happening on November 8th. And the way that you can, I'm going to fix this. Oops. This link here so I can give you the right link. But November 9th, we will be with Dr. Dawn, who's going to talk about the terrific trio. Now, what am I talking about? I am talking about these patches. And if you watch Tamisa Lydon today on our Good Vibes Day, National Good Vibes Day, she talked a little bit about, and that's actually who introduced me to the patches. So these little patches are from LifeWave, and this one is called carnosine, which is for something else. But the main one is to help activate our stem cells, because when you hit 60, less than 10% of your stem cells are working. When you're 35, less than 50% are active. And our stem cells are the master cells of the body that can become whatever cells we need when we're regenerating. You know how our cells have a certain lifespan depending on what organ they are. They all will die off at a certain time. Well, to replace them, you need these stem cells, and they become the cell that is needed. So it has to do with rejuvenation and living younger, right? So that's what these patches are all about. And anyway, the terrific trio has to do with 3 different patch combination that really works great. But you don't need all 3. The main one is X39, which activates our stem cells. So check it out. And if you want to sign up, it is a free event. It's 30 minutes long. You can ask questions. There's a chat. And to go to this one coming up in November 9th, just go to tinyurl.com/longevity November NOV 2025 with the L and the N capitalized. But you can also watch the replays, because we've been doing this since the beginning of the year in January. And there's a whole list of like 9 different episodes that talk about different patches, only 30 minutes long. And just go to tinyurl.com/longevity playlist with a capital L. So check it out. Really great information. And, reach out to me if you want to know how you can get some patches. I'd be happy to help you with that. Okay, so we are down to our last tip of the week. Did I not get my tip of the week up here? Let's see. I guess I didn't. So let's see if, nope, it won't do it. Let's see if it'll do it now. I want to get my tip of the week graphic up. It's coming. Will it work? I don't know. All right. Well, we'll take this off here. Oh, I didn't play the video on Bashar's talking about Congress, but we'll do that next week. Okay, let me remove this and let's talk about the tip of the week to raise your vibration. So last week's tip of the week was to practice a new moon meditation. And because the new moon was only a couple of days after or before I had the episode, and I actually gave you a link to get to this new moon meditation by I think her name is Reiki Rachel, and it was very good. So hopefully you did it. Now this week for our tip of the week is to practice an act of kindness. As I said before, a lot of people will be suffering, not being able to eat, not being able to afford food for their kids. They said that the SNAP benefits, that 40% of the people using SNAP benefits are children, and 20% are seniors. So 60% of who uses the SNAP benefits are, the most vulnerable of us. So knowing that, and of course there is a social shame to having to use the food stamps, the SNAP. But, and I'm grateful that I've never had to be in that position, but I know people who have. And, it's hard. But, I think we have a human right to survive and have food. And this is very basic. So I'm gonna be doing this too, looking around my community and see who can I help, whether it's going and donating to the food kitchen or what do they call them? The food where they get free food. Not food kitchens, but you know what I mean. But to help, look around and see who needs help in your immediate community. Who needs food? Who can you buy groceries for? In the grocery store, is there someone there that you could buy the groceries for, or just donate to the food? That's right, food banks. That's what it's called. Donate to food banks, or just be aware of check in on people, any seniors in your neighborhood, or families with children, that might need support. Just practice an act of kindness. Now, this raises your vibration, because when we help someone, we raise our vibration. When we lend a hand to someone, lift them up, it raises our vibration to be able to help someone else. So that's the tip of the week. So be aware of the people in your lives who may need some help, and help them if you're able to. And if you're one of the people that needs help, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to get the help that is out there. Don't be afraid to ask. And if it's not asking a certain person, ask spirit. And whenever you ask with a pure, genuine heart, sincerely to God, to spirit, you will always be answered. At least that's been my experience and my belief. So practice an act of kindness, or many acts of kindness, as we go through the holiday season here. And speaking of holidays, I want to wish you a very happy Halloween. Uh, Halloween is tomorrow. And so I want to wish my uh, friends and my witches out there happy Halloween, happy Samhain. It is, a great day to celebrate. And I just want to say happy Halloween. Not able to do, the show's not on Halloween, but it is on National Good Vibes Day. So keep watching the shows. We've got more every 11 minutes after every hour. There's a new snippet, a new Good Vibes break. So check it out. And I want to thank you so much for watching. And, just have a wonderful day, week, and be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. All right, everyone. Tomorrow we ride. Show you my broom. All right. Peace out, everyone. Talk to you next week.